All right. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I was I didn't get a chance to eat today, so I was just snacking on a Kirkland granola bar. So can you believe it? I haven't even eaten breakfast today. All right. So it is 8:30 p.m. Um, I am running on fumes. No, I'm kidding. I'm very concentrated when I don't eat, and when I work, I forget to eat a lot. In fact, well, and there's no particular reason why I'm even wearing this. I'm only wearing this because it's really cold in this room. I've been working from home all day, and yep, just a neat. All right, so um, I just saw a question that what does the REIT stand for? The REIT is not something that is originated from capital mindset. It is something that originates from the greatness of the internet. It is a calling cry of sorts, kind of like a war signal. Okay. Um, or like a horn, so that everyone knows who's on whose side. And yeah, it comes from a from a channel that I collaborate with quite often. Strongman Personal Finance, good channel. And yeah, that's the yes, you see, it's our battle cry, as you can see. Julius Caesar says that, and Julius Caesar conquered all of Gaul. So just so you know. All right, so yeah, I was not trying to fast. Oftentimes it just happens because of if you work a lot, and then yeah. All right, so we got, I guess, some quite a bit to talk about. We have AMD reported earnings today, Airbnb reported earnings today, and one other that was significant. Who was it? AMD, was it? I think it was another A1. I have it written down here. Let me pull it up that I wanted to talk about. Where'd it go? I guess I exited out of it. But anyway, I know AMD went reported today, and they actually showed growth of about 60-ish%. Airbnb grew about 62%, but they also guided for about 7%. Sorry, 70%. So after hours, it was pretty, just a little bit of a bump. There has been some interesting kind of I guess changes with regarding to some of the things that a certain larger YouTuber has been stating. I guess we can talk about that too. Really, you guys drive the conversation here because that's what this is about. Um, you think and Jeremy made a similar sound. All right. About stock and market, what would you recommend someone to do? Okay, this is a question. Hey Fabio, I have a question for you. If someone wanted to have your level knowledge, or what do you recommend for someone to do? I don't like, because reading is such a cliche answer, saying that you should just read, but like reading is a good way, and just interacting and just trying to every day learn about a new business, and that works a lot. I think, because I can't. It's difficult to pinpoint in my educational journey like what really did it. But yeah, like saying reading is such a cliche answer. Um, Cop out answer. Watch capital. I'm kidding. Watch Capital Mindset. No, but in all fairness, in all seriousness, I think every day, if you try to learn about a new business, new industry, over time, you'll build up a knowledge base, and you'll start to see patterns or recognize patterns within different business models, and you'll start to pick up certain business models, and maybe you'll find out which business models you really actually can quite understand. Okay. Yeah. Skyworks Solutions did report today. Now, the thing with Skyworks Solutions, I didn't really get to talk about in the Intel video, but a lot of things I've been learning about, RF chip design, is that it's very difficult and kind of like an increasing rarity. And it's actually very, it's a terrible thing that can happen if your talent gets poached. And Skyworks Solutions is at risk of that. Oh, Starbucks. There we go. That's the one that I could not forget. So Starbucks reported earnings today, and theirs was actually quite interesting because they had a slowdown in China, but United States picked up the slack. So United States actually was like, "Oh, okay, we got to get coffee, and all the Americans are getting coffee." So a lot more than normal. I don't cover Revolve stock. I've never actually made a video on Revolve. I'll tell you, like right off the bat, my wife actually buys from Revolve quite a bit. And so she really likes Revolve. I asked her about Revolve, and yeah, she has positive things to say about Revolve as a company. They had a issue with this like festival thing where it basically, if you know Fire Festival, that whole S show, so to speak, or poop show that occurred, they kind of like redid that, but their own version of it during the Burning Man. All right, so Yeah, that's a little bit thing that's going on right now with their influencers because they were one of the first or the largest movers into the influencer market with regards to fashion. So, good evening. Good evening. Um, can we model AMD properly now after earnings and Xilinx merger? Yeah, we will actually those will have dedicated videos because AMD's a I guess a stock that I am covering because it is on the watch list or at least my personal watch list that I want to actually add to the portfolio. So I'm gulping Revolve now. Well, you guys should be bullish on Kirkland because I just ate a Kirkland bar. So Costco to the moon. Um, and that is my nickname by some people actually. So there I'm actually going to be doing the YouTube index like really soon. I'm adding some final additions to the YouTube index and actually let me see what's currently on the YouTube index. I'll pull it up and just read it out to you guys. And I think it's going to be fun to kind of just watch what happens. And I'll actually start measuring it from today. Let me see. Is this it? Is this a YouTube index? Are you the YouTube index? No, you're not. All right, that's not the YouTube index. I probably should have labeled it. That should have been kind of a. Here it is. Oh, that's not it. I think I plugged it. Yeah, I probably should have done. Oh, here it is. I actually did label it. I'm just blind. I am blind, and I like to tell you guys that sometimes that I'm not actually blind at all. I like to say that when I can't find something. All right, so currently on the YouTube index, we have Tesla, Tattooed Chef, Honest Company, Corsair, Lemonade, Beyond Meat, Oatly, Planet 13, Very Good Food Company, Palantir, and I want to also add. Why isn't Smile Direct Club on here? That should also be here. That should definitely be on there. Okay, cool. Smile Direct Club. And if you have any other notable mentions, I think, oh yeah, also Hood. Hood should be on here. There's Robin Hood. There you go. Yeah, if you guys have any other like suggestions, I already took a look actually at Palantir. It was actually an old holding of mine. And there's a video on the channel already about it. Tesla is already on it. Yeah, Tesla's already on it. Skills is another one. Yes, Skills is the one I also forgot about. Skills, I remember that. Yeah, Skills is I guess a YouTube stock as well. And yeah, I'm gonna be equally weighting them because if I didn't equal weight them, it would be 90 something percent Tesla and close to like 96% Tesla. Yeah, 96.8% Tesla if I had done that. BYD and Neo. Okay, yeah, Neo actually is another one. Wrong place. Yeah, Neo's another one. BYD is, I think, the other Chinese company or company. Uh, yeah, those definitely are. I had someone message me saying a suggestion was like Genius Brands, but I don't think Genius Brands was a big one. Oh, BlackBerry, can't forget BlackBerry. AMC. Yeah, we're gonna fill this thing up. Actually, I think let's remove AMC. Let's remove that because that's more like a Wall Street bets. Let's focus on like what are the YouTubers kind of pumping out. The YouTubers are the ones I actually want to kind of keep track of, not necessarily like a Wall Street bets index. Yeah, just mainly like a YouTubers index. So any popular ones promoted by other YouTubers. Yeah, so Airbnb, I'll give some thoughts on Airbnb right now. So Airbnb did report, and this comes from this question up here. Airbnb, where's my mouse? Oh, here you are. Okay. Airbnb, where'd you go? Here we go. Airbnb actually reported good guidance, about 70% expected growth. Something like Expedia could benefit similarly from that. They are showing signs that the consumer has a huge appetite for travel. So a lot of discretionary spending probably in the works there. As far as the health of the consumer goes, remember that's still that question mark up there with regarding to how the consumer is going to be able to spend. And actually, there's a video coming out soon. Let me actually see if it is uploaded. It should be uploaded, but it's not published yet. And because it actually goes over that, and it's covering, yeah, Carvana. So Carvana, I go into that a little bit as to the potential. Oh, StoneCo. StoneCo is definitely one. Yeah, StoneCo. Yeah, that one's talked about a lot because that's like they call it, the square of Brazil, you know. Yeah, so Very good food company is already on there. TTCF's already on there, definitely. Alibaba. Alibaba, is that like widely? I know it is. Oh, fine. You know what? I don't know if it's widely talked about by a bunch of YouTubers. I think it's just like on the more, like I know Sven Carlin, Everything Money, definitely. Strong My Personal Finance, like, but it's more of on the the more responsible side of YouTube. um, I think like the larger YouTube channels, like we're talking the 800K plus or 500K plus YouTubers. That's kind of what I'm referring to. I also, I might as well add Hippo. Hippo. What was another one? Open Door. Um, Geez. And if you guys haven't seen, I did actually redo a video, not redo a video, but I kind of highlighted a video that I did publish back in January. And I only realized up to today that it was region locked. And so I tried to kind of showcase the main points of the message of that video the video was titled, "This video was restricted." Now, the purpose of that, SoFi, I'm seeing your comments still. So, and I'm adding them as I see them. Matterport, I already have. Yeah, let me actually add that one because Matterport, yeah, definitely. Affirm, how can I forget Affirm? You guys are gold mine here. Oh, yeah, I was missing a lot here. Yeah, your comments are showing up in the chat, Mark. SoFi, fourth time saying Siri. Oh, Siri is one? I didn't see it. Oh, cancel. I'm not trying to. Siri. Okay. And then Coin. Uh, Coinbase is really a YouTube stock. I mean, sure. Shift Technologies, I know that one. Yeah, Shift Technologies. I actually talk about Shift Technologies in the video that will come out tomorrow. Snowflake is another one, actually. Yes, but yeah, Shift Technologies I talk about tomorrow. I compare it with Carvana, and so you'll see that in that video tomorrow. Just briefly, but Shift Technologies is kind of like a joke. I didn't really get into their financials because you know, I didn't think it was necessary. I compare them to AutoNation. I focus on that. Palantir's already on there. Square isn't really a YouTube stock. I mean, I guess we could call that a YouTube stock. Sure. Roblox definitely is one. Okay. So O is now a different category. Now that's just like dividend growth investors. So I'll refrain from adding those guys in there. Planet 13 is already on there. And I'm going to weight these Dark Knight equal weighting because if I did it by market cap, I would have basically a Tesla portfolio. And I'm trying to actually gauge the performance of these stocks. So I'm going to do an equal weighting. Oatly's already on there. But yes, yeah. So I think more recently, a lot of these stocks have been coming down a lot more than, what previously a lot of people probably thought. The proponents of these stocks, I guess they're still defending them, but less so than before. Matterport, Workhorse are all on there. You guys keep just cranking it out. The comment section going crazy. Rivian, is Rivian really? Wow, I really I don't watch YouTube enough to tell. Jeez, I did not know Rivian was one. Lucid, well, I know Lucid's one. I've seen that one before. Um, yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling. BNGO, no, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. Let's start capping it. I think we should cap it, and I'll try to eliminate some of these because otherwise it's gonna be like so overly diversified into this stuff, and we're gonna over diversify to the point where some people might argue that I diversified in too much crap, and so they're gonna be like, "Well, you never gave it a chance." um. So yeah, yeah. There's just too many. There's too many nano dimensions. Like you keep just throwing in more and more and more. And yeah, I do know a lot of these were actually talked about. Uh, so yeah. And so what I'm gonna do is this is actually gonna show up when this is fully done. It's gonna show up on the Capital Mindset portfolio as a new sheet. And so you have the watch list sheet, you have the portfolio sheet, and you have the YouTube stock index sheet. And it's gonna keep track of it. And this I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna pick. The day that I upload it, it's gonna put that in as the price, and then we're gonna match or we're gonna record its performance. And keep in mind, I'm doing it from a very low price point, so we'll see how that goes. But yes, yeah. Any questions regarding these earnings? I have, yeah. Let's actually get into Starbucks. I think because Starbucks reported earnings and they gave us a decent insight. So let me actually bring them up. So yeah. So comparable sales rose about 7%. Average ticket was up 4% in transactions. Growth increased 3% during the quarter. Total revenue. Okay, so they actually beat very slightly on total revenue. Comparable sales in America increased 12%. Yeah, that's where all the growth came from. Comparable transactions were up 5%. Where's China? Where's China? China comparable stores plunged. Yeah, there we go. There's the plunge. So even though China fell 23%, United States was actually able to bring up that actual performance. So I'm going to actually let me actually pull it up. So here we go. I have to get rid of all these tabs. I was looking at cars. But yeah, also we can have a conversation about vehicles as well. But FBUX. And I remember from from the audience what you guys told me. I don't put it on the vertical screen because it looks kind of funky when I share the screen. So don't worry. We'll do it here. So yeah, here's Starbucks. So you can see after hours, Starbucks actually went up about 5% because they did better than expected. They were actually expecting, things to be kind of, not so good. Not so good. Let's just say that. And so you can see over the 1 year, we are down actually 34% on Starbucks. Well, I say it like I own it, but I don't own it. The Starbucks is down 34%, and over the 5 years, it's still done decently well, but underperformed the market for sure. So yeah, if you look at from all-time highs at this point, it's down 40.99%. Something like Starbucks. We have the new CEO coming in. He's making some changes. He's basically saying we're going to invest in the business. We're not going to. Well, that has the implications that, as I've stated before, that okay, they probably didn't invest as much as they should have in the business. Okay, so I would like your comments on REITs. I'm going to give my comments on REITs actually because I had stated something when I've always made those liquidity crunch videos. I stated that something like a REIT would be kind of to invest in, and I wasn't actually paying attention enough at different sectors how they would actually play out differently. So I think I mentioned this past in a previous live stream that what I didn't kind of take into account was that REITs were able to source financing for cheaper rates. And if rates rise, that actually drowns out the competition or a lot of the competition from some private money. And so it allows the REITs to actually get better deals. But depending on what REIT you're talking about. Now, if you take a look at something like the industrial REITs, so let me show you this. This is something I've been noticing. And so while I thought, and this is interesting, up 4% though, but take a look at this. So you see from January, they still actually got hit. They got hit the hardest by this liquidity crunch. But something like O, and I'll show you other ones because it's not just O. Something like O didn't really actually get affected that much. I mean, really, it's down like 5.353%. And this is like where January was like December, January was like where I identified as perhaps the beginning, but you had like the motions of it in November-ish. But something like O, they didn't really feel it. And these are commercial real estate or REITs. What was another one? ADC. ADC, take a look at ADC. Kind of like a similar story. You take out the 1 year, and you can kind of see from this moment, it's not really down much. They're really following each other in that sense. So I thought this was going to be prolonged for a little bit, and I didn't take into account that lack of competition was actually a good thing. And I actually made a video on REITs saying that when I compared realty income and Seritage growth properties, I kind of showcased that data actually shows that rising rates don't necessarily always mean bad things for REITs. It depends on the nuances. So what I believed was that there was going to be a harpening for the amount of money that would go into REITs, but it depended on which REIT we were actually talking about. That's what actually mattered at the end of the day. Something like ONL, an office REIT, they also did actually experience this kind of a similar drawdown. Okay, it's just too zoomed out. Let's do, the year to date. Year to date's better. So you can kind of see, well, that's ever since March, actually. But yeah, down 23%. Look at the industrials. So Prologis, PLD. All right, so year to date, let's actually pull out the 1 year. December, yeah, you can kind of see this. They had a massive drawdown right here recently. So 11% down. But yeah, you can see it really did depend on which one. Ooh, nice. Nice. Someone just got an interview at Amazon. So I just got a text message from that. So I got to text them congratulations. This is water, by the way. This is not a flask full of vodka. Alcohol mindset has been put to rest for tonight. All right. Here we go. So I have, okay. So also, no, I'm not going to add the poop coins, by the way. So hope you know that. I'm not going to add the poop coins I just saw. And what's this? Which cars? Oh, which cars am I looking at currently? And oh, this, I apologize for that. Let me stop sharing. Just mirrored the screen on you guys. Right now, I'm looking at the Tesla Model 3 Performance in blue. And that's the one I'm kind of convinced on at this point. I really tried, and I'm probably going to document this. Actually, let me ask you guys right here. Would you like me to go to different dealerships? And I won't be able to film them because they're not going to like that. But I'll go into the dealership, try to get and see what I can get with an electric vehicle at the present moment. And, try to see whether or not the dealership model is actually hurting these companies who are trying to sell electric vehicles to the consumer. Because my experience thus far has been that, you can get some of them, but the markups are incredible where it almost doesn't make sense. But let me know if that's actually something you guys would be interested in me documenting, and then I'll document it, put it on YouTube forever. Maybe Ford calls me and it's like, how can we fix this? I'm like, don't worry, I'll consult you. Intel's a YouTube stock. Are you guys still mentioning YouTube stocks? I wouldn't call Intel a YouTube stock per se. There's not that many of the large YouTubers actually promoting that one, but yes. I'll make a index versus VT. So yeah, if I do that, you have to also keep in mind that I am also adding this to or putting it in at very low valuations. So it's not a fair comparison. I'll have to put like a disclaimer for that. But yeah, can you imagine if I actually created an ETF and then just called it the REU ETF, ticker symbol REUU, and see how many people actually would invest in that? And expense ratio is 50% expense rate. I'm kidding, something like that. I don't know. I don't know how it works if I reach out to him or he reaches out to me. So I'm guessing I have to reach out to him because perhaps I think that the decorum is that I, the smaller creator, must reach out to the larger creator. I think that's how it works. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm in no rush to do anything like that. If he really wants to, I'm down. If he doesn't really want to, that's fine too. Remember, this is like my side hobby, so it's all fine. It's all well and good. All right, so let me actually push this up over here again. What is this? Get out of here. All right. Also, I did a video on Arrival recently. I don't know if any of you guys know about that stock. So that stock's really interesting because a lot of people were, not a lot of people, but some people were actually talking about it on YouTube. And that stock is just, I don't know. That's something else. That's something else. Oh yeah, take a look at well, this is not my hallway. This is actually my bathroom. It's totally not a green screen, and it was my bathroom. Down there, that's where I take a dump. Down there, right there. It's the executive bathroom. So you walk down this hallway bathroom, I can watch you. Okay, that's how I instill dominance. Fabio, what are your thoughts on the Fed's goals currently? Do they still want markets and assets to go up, to go down, for assets to go down? I have no idea what really the goals of the Fed are, to be honest. I think that maybe I'll take their word for it, and then that they want whatever stability, blah blah blah, bottom text. But yeah, they're expected to raise 50 basis points tomorrow, so we'll see that. That's what's expected. If they're a little more hawkish, remember, even if you've taken the Snyder pill, and I hope you guys know what the Snyder pill is at. But even if you've taken the Snyder pill, that still indicates psychology. The psychology does have an effect. I see some questions, and let me actually explain this. This question is very important. I want to address this here live. I mentioned it in the video of Activision, but I don't think I was clear enough. So I will be even more clear now. So I did not get Activision at the price stated in the portfolio. The reason why I manually entered that one in is because I want to mentally keep track of it as that, because it is a position I held in the past. I bought it, and that was my average cost basis. And then I sold when the merger was announced, made a video on that. And then in a subsequent video, in that same video, which I actually highlighted in my new update video. It was a 6-minute long update video. I talk a little bit more about it. So to answer your question, not to bury the lead, about $77-ish around there is when I re-entered. But in the portfolio, it's that I'm going to put like an asterisk in the portfolio, just like write it in and just say like, this is the actual price I have it at. I just manually did it for me to keep track of it mentally. And it's at a retirement account. So for me, it's not about like the tax base. It's just how I will keep track of it. Because technically speaking, that investment was made at the tail end of last year. And I sold it early, and I made a video explaining the rationale why I sold it early and the like. So yeah, that I hope that answers your question. If it didn't, just grill me again and I'll get into it a little bit more deeper. Okay, so yeah, what is the market's anticipating at the moment? The markets are anticipating 0.5. So 0.5%. New to your channel, appreciate the hard work you put into your videos. Keep it up. Thank you. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy doing these for you guys. Okay, Snyder Pill. Okay, very briefly, but definitely check out Jeff Snyder's work if you're interested. Basically, the Federal Reserve doesn't actually control interest rates the way most people think it is done. Okay, so essentially, the Federal Reserve operates in the realm of psychology, in the realm of making the consumer, the people who actually have more effect on the way interest rates will go, feel a certain way, and then that then can drive rates. That's kind of like the Snyder Pill. And you can combine Snyder with Dr. Lazy Hunt and then come into this own, where I'm kind of like, that's where I'm kind of diving into, is I'm kind of a mixture of the two at this point. In terms of my belief, of course, both of them in their own right are far more experts than I will ever be, because that's what they do for a living. I would love to have both of them in a room, and me being able to ask them as many questions as I can. I would love to pick their brains and have them kind of converse with one another and explore some deeper thoughts. All right, so yeah, imagine a full percentage. That would not be bad. Is OnlyFans public? Is it public? No way, it's public. You're messing with me. Oh, no, it's not public. I was like, there's no way that's public. I'm 19 and a foreigner. I don't know what that pill is. Okay, hopefully I answered briefly what that pill is, but I can go into greater detail. Okay, so despite my reservations about DI, Buffett and Gates are buddies, so they might be some insider knowledge about how secure the deal really is. Yeah, so I don't know anything about that, but I'd say that the arbitrage for me, it's not arbitrage, because arbitrage technically, by definition, is supposed to be without risk, and this is definitely not without risk. Definitely not without risk. So yeah, I just think that the risk is moderate at this point. Okay, so did the Warner Bros. Discovery numbers load in your model? I've been buying under 20. I haven't checked yet, but I'm waiting for a dedicated video. So I'm not going to do it in the live stream, because that's going to have a dedicated video. And actually, that if I did a live stream with the popular investor, I think that's the video we would focus, or sorry, the stock we would focus on. I probably push him to focus on that one with me, because I think that's a stock that we both share. And that is one that is going to take a little bit of brain power to digest fully the business. So I think that'd be a good collaboration, if anything. That's how what I was thinking. I don't know if you guys would be down for that. Do you see the liquidity crunch lasting for at least in the next couple of years? No, I have zero clue on time frame. I can only identify when I think there's like the smell of it happening, and then when I think perhaps it might be ending. But how I behave, as you can see, is I just buy assets when I feel like it. When I see that the opportunity is there, I buy it. I don't really like exit completely out of positions or anything like that. I might make some or believe that some investments are a little bit overvalued depending on where I think things are going. So banks was one, but I still like banks. I would like to re-enter banks. And then I was a little bit more accumulating on the not the insurers, but I held on to my insurers. For example, I let go of my materials recently because I think they ran up a lot and I wanted to take profits. But it's not like I'm a timer. I'm not a market timer. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it's because it's programmed to. Yeah, the Google Sheets is just a face. Okay, so it's the face. It's the face of the actual work that's being done in the background, and it just allows me to have a good UI for me to work with, and so I can do videos on it too. So because otherwise it'd be pretty, disgusting. Now I'm working on an actual like customized UI. and that's what one of my developers is working on, and that's the one that's going to be available in August. But right now, the Google Sheet is just the face of it, essentially. It loads in everything because it looks for everything online and stuff. So what are your risks on the AGRD deal? No, the AGRD deal is no longer, it's not happening. So that fell through. Yeah, that's fell through. So AGRD has new stuff, and I actually talked about this on the with some of the Discord members. So on last week, there was a public filing that one of the larger shareholders, he's looking to buy about $1 billion worth of the stock, and he's going to buy it, or he's going to start buying it in 2 days from now. So on the 5th. There you go. You heard it here first. Well, technically, some of the Discord members heard that first, but yeah, now you hear it second. So it's still before the day. There you go. Yes, Wall Street, not Wall Street Bets. Oh my gosh. I think when I see WB, I think Wall Street Bets. No, I know what you mean. Okay, so Warner Bros. Discovery with Popular Investor. Yeah, I'll try to. I don't have an email for him, but I'll try to find his email somehow. Fabio, can you explain earnings quality on your model? I know it's something you kind of made yourself. What is it derived off of? It's basically taking into account the ability for management, to kind of just put it simply. There's a lot of measures that I made myself in the summary sheet that require some explaining. But earnings quality. Well, actually, there's a traditional earnings quality measure that is a little bit different, but basically what it's trying to measure is management's ability to kind of navigate efficiently the financial statements, where you could arguably rely more on the cash flows or the earnings. All right, you want it to be always above one on an absolute basis. That's how the measure is supposed to be taken. So, hey, is it possible, could you analysis of stock without using the model, just to see how it's done manually? Since some people don't have the model, it would be helpful to us. Yeah. You can do. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, it's possible with some stocks. It's a tool. Basically, what I did with the model. The model is a lot of my own thoughts just poured into lines of code, in a sense. So that's all it is. It's just like I just put things that I would normally look for, and just automates some of the work for me. So I can just like, look, it's a tool at the end of the day. It doesn't make an investor, but it's a good tool. I do use it for almost every investment. I'd love to hear anything you are the Popular Investor talk about. Oh yeah, I think it would be a good podcast. What's your favorite stock right now? Ooh, well, that buying wise, that'd probably be Meta, or yeah, it'd probably be Meta at this point, because I am buying a bit, but yeah, Meta would definitely be one of my top favorites. It's one that I want to buy more of, but I got to get the right prices. Austin is doing fantastic on his BMY stock. BMY was one that I sold, but I did say when I sold, I just wanted the money to buy something else, and it did well. And in the video where I said I was selling, I said the stock is good. It's nothing wrong with the stock. I'm not selling because there's something wrong with it. But yeah, okay, yeah, it's at 75 now, so it's done fantastic. And that's one that the model at the time was saying that it was a good buy. It was a really good buy. What I did with that money is I bought a BHP. I bought a lot of BHP with Bristol Myers at the time. So, all right. So also, if you could mind doing a series of videos breaking down financial statements and how each reflected real world. Oh, that's going to be in like the course videos. How important is ROIC? It's pretty important. It's a barometer of how effective management is at investing the capital back into the business. So it's a good barometer. So it's pretty important. Do you intend real public use? Yes, I will. That's the intention. Any favorite investing songs you know? Investing songs? I have no idea. No, I have no idea on the songs. Yeah, crawl for 20K USD. I thought you said lines of coke. That's funny. Does Meta have a strong moat, Fabio, in your opinion? I believe it does. I believe Meta does have a strong moat. Probably not as strong as others. I don't want to say it has the strongest moat, but I do think it has a strong moat. I think it has a massive network effect. And you got to understand, Meta has many platforms, not just Facebook. Of course, Facebook, I think, is their largest. You have Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. I think that the opportunity that exists within Meta itself is incredible. The metaverse per se, not the retail investor thought of the metaverse. there's a Ready Player One metaverse that I keep talking about. That's like, I don't think of the metaverse as that necessarily. I think the metaverse has a lot of B2B potential with a consumer facing aspect. Okay. At what price would you be a buyer of Tesla? I have no idea right now. I'd say probably like, if I had to put a number on it, I'd have to really take a look at it, but like 300 and below, somewhere around there. Tesla car, though, that's a different story. All right. So have you looked at Amgen? Their drug Lumicaris is expected to be with the next. I will take a look at Amgen. I love biopharmaceutical companies, and they have a place in my portfolio. Right now, I have AbbVie. I think AbbVie is my largest one. AbbVie's been with me for quite some time now. If I were to sell AbbVie now, I would pay definitely only long-term capital gains. But yeah. What is favorite stock news website? I use a couple. Depending on what you mean by stock news. What do you mean by stock news? Because I was arguing with a guy on Discord, and he was saying that Meta does not have a moat because it can be easily replaced by another social media. And he gave an example with MySpace. Yeah, but like the thing is, first of all, like everyone's gonna have different opinions. Like I've been noticing that with like Netflix. When I talk about Netflix, there's a lot of people who are very negative on Netflix, but I may not be that negative on Netflix. So you might be positive on Meta, someone's going to be negative on Meta. And obviously, if everyone on earth was positive on Meta, the stock would be absolutely insane right now. And the reason why the stock's not doing so hot is because people aren't that positive on Meta. So yeah, MySpace is a good example of what could happen in a worst case scenario. But the thing with something like Meta is it's not showing the signs that it will hit MySpace just yet. The Facebook platform right now is kind of like the cash cow, and then you still have a lot of growth potential from the likes of Instagram. Now Meta has its like user base, or sorry, Facebook has its user base still within the older crowd, I would say. Something like WhatsApp, though, is still growing a lot, and the potential for there is a lot. But yeah. And have I talked to some Meta employees? Yes, I have talked to some Meta employees. It's one. Let me just be frank. It's one Meta employee, and from what I gathered, it's they really like to work at Meta. Some people, then I've seen some people. Then this is anecdotal. This is a singular example. Other people might not like to work at Meta, but they really like to work at Meta. So I don't know. Maybe you've heard of something else, maybe, but yeah. And the company is working really hard at building its own ASIC design chips, so for its own AI initiatives. But there's a lot of like little businesses within Meta that are just bundles of potential that might actually pan out well, might go nowhere. At the end of the day, the legacy business has a terminal value because it's going to spit out cash flows, and then the other stuff are just potentials that if they pan out really well, that's good for the business and it extends its lifetime. But I don't think Meta should be, for example, a greater conviction than something like Alphabet for me. Alphabet just has so many businesses inside of it that are that have even more potential than something like Meta, in my opinion. But it's priced for that, so it's not as cheap as Meta because the market kind of understands that. Unfortunately, I wish they didn't, so that I could acquire more Alphabet. So that's just what you have to deal with. I still own oh wait, it moved out. I'll get to your question in a second. I just don't want to skip everyone, but yes, I still own ConocoPhillips, and yeah, that's about it. ConocoPhillips. The insider sale will make you think, or you don't look for it. I mean, the thing is, insiders can sell because maybe they want actually money, so they can go out and buy things, right? So it depends. It's nuanced. The answer is nuanced. But yeah, if I see a ton of it, yeah, I'll be cautious. Okay, so any books you recommend to get a better grip on financial statements / videos? I'm more of a visual learner, so reading isn't that practical for me. I just can't translate it. All right, I mean, I'm going to be doing a pay what you want video series, and it's going to be on YouTube because that's the best platform, I guess, to put anything on there. And I'll put it in playlists, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of talk about them, promote them to like get them noticed. And you can go through a playlist, and it'll be like my course, basically, my course on finance and accounting and personal finance stuff. So those are the 3 that I'm currently designing. I'm not going to release them until all the videos are done. So when all the videos are done, then the playlist will become available, and then you go through the playlists and you can skip through the playlist because that allows you to basically go to each topic, because maybe you're more adept in one topic than another, and you're like, I don't need to know that, I want to know that. So that will be helpful for visual learners. Meta VR gonna be derpy. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, Oculus right now is pretty good. I mean, have you played? There's a lot of interesting games. Like, take a look at Blade and Sorcery. Blade and Sorcery is on VR. That's a, if games eventually in the future become something like that, oof, oh my gosh. You can see like what some people are capable of doing in that game. It's like, what do you do all day? Do you just like only play this game? Or maybe it's easier than I think. How the fuck would MySpace overtake Facebook? And can you imagine if that happened? That'd be crazy. Can you talk a little about some of your portfolio performance ratios? Do you make use of the Sharpe ratio, Sorrentino ratio, or any of the other ratios that encompass the whole portfolio? No, actually. In theory, I mean, especially in the classroom, we would use that, especially in my classes regarding portfolio management. Yeah, because the Sharpe ratio is supposed to measure, the risk to performance, and so I guess that there's a place for it depending on really what you want. For me, my own portfolio, I don't really put as much thought into it as you might think regarding volatility. I kind of think all of that as academic noise. For me. And like, if I were to, for example, be responsible for an old elderly couple's life savings, and I don't want that responsibility, but let's say I was, then yeah, I'd probably be doing something like that and being a little bit more careful, a little bit more cautious, making sure that, I'm not taking in too much volatility. I want them to have good mental health, but because it's my own, I don't really care too much about volatility metrics. So, Netflix has a strong brand, but maybe not a moat. Yeah, well, I mean, I think they have a strong brand and moat. I think they do have a strong moat. I don't know, but that's my opinion. But I would totally be buying. Okay, Porsche EVs right now are not practical. I'm not spending, I am not spending 200K on an electric vehicle or 100 something K on an electric vehicle. No, 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 no. This is a tool at the end of the day. And the max, again, that I'll ever spend on a car, I say that now. And then like when I'm 40, I break this rule. But right now, my current rule is I would never spend more than probably what the Model Y performance would cost. I would not spend more than that on a car. I'd rather grab that money and actually invest that. I always want to have a beater car, though. I think a beater car is important, and I won't put many miles on the other car. But we're getting into a different kind of conversation. There's not a car conversation. A BurgerFi chocolate shake. Oh, you tried it? Oh my gosh! Tell me, Steve. Tell me, Steve. How are the chocolate shakes? That's literally the thesis of BurgerFi. The shakes. The shakes are what bring me in. Okay, and the burgers are good, but the shakes, the custard shakes. Oh, now that's not a saying that BurgerFi stock is a buy, by the way. It is a micro cap. And I don't have a solid thesis surrounding that. And you can see in the portfolio, it literally says fun next to it. It's a fun stock. It's my fun stock. Okay, so consistent 80% margin, moat, simple. Yeah, okay, margins are a way that some people measure moats, margins. So expected growth, PE, Peter Lynch formula. Are you talking about the PEG? Are you talking about the PEG there? Fabio, any thoughts on going long commodities? I secured a decent sized bag. I don't want to sell out because I think a commodity bull run is imminent. Well, I don't know if a commodities bull run is imminent, but retail investors always think there's a commodity bull run is imminent when it's not going to happen, when the reverse happens. But not saying that that's not the case or it is the case. I have some commodities for fun. I do collect some gold and silver coins, and maybe you guys didn't know about that about me, but I do that. I have a stack. I'm a little bit of a stacker, a little bit, not too much, but I have some gold jewelry too. But that jewelry is different. Well, this one's actually a Venetian, so it actually holds up its value decently well, actually, this one. But you have to have like the actual NFT for it, actually. Funnily enough, they're implementing new technology. There we go. And actually, one of my silver coins, which is a collector's item, has an NFT attached to it. And I thought that was hilarious. And you actually have to download this app, and the NFT that's on it, you never take it out of its packaging, funnily enough, but the NFT that's on it is actually an authenticator of that coin. So as long as you actually have that, it authenticates the coin itself, which is actually what NFTs will be used for in the future, especially like the technology or the implementation of this technology would be very useful in auditing. Okay, so auditing, they're going to be using that stuff to keep track of inventory and stuff like that for internal auditing and stuff like that. I think, the actual technology has practical implications. All right. Whoa, so many questions. All right, Meta will rock it. Absolutely. Hopefully not now, though. Qualcomm is killing it in the semi space. They partnered with Volkswagen. Yeah, everyone's partnering with each other, though. Volkswagen, I think, needs to work on their cars, though. I want them to have a serious competitor. Will seriously consider applying for a senior accountant position at Meta, but I need to finish my CPA testing. I mean, heck, yeah, do it. I mean, that probably pays well. Do you think AMD is doing so well? Why do you think AMD is doing so well and Intel is struggling? Well, from what I might gather, culture, CEO that was at the helm was much more centered in the engineering mindset rather than the finance and accounting mindset. And not to say that finance and accountants shouldn't be, in management levels. It's just that you got to be careful which ones go into those levels, because for example, I believe that I understand, if I was in charge of an engineering firm, I would understand that I am not an engineer. So I need to be careful not to squander or destroy the sentiment of my engineers, and not be so much of a penny pincher in some key aspects, and really take into account what the engineers have to say. So I think at Intel, there was a lot of decisions from the top that really messed up the company. Management does matter, and AMD had really good management. Dr. Lisa Su, she's good. She's great. What can I say? And then you kind of culminate that with now the culture, attracting the talent. And from the conversation I had, was really interesting. Some people, I was giving them scenarios where I was like, all right, if Intel and AMD paid you the same, what would you go for? They'd say AMD. When I said, what if Intel paid you more? They said AMD. I was like, really? Okay. So I found that, and that was unanimous among all of them that I spoke to. So, so business is going to sit in meetings. It's Xbox. And this question, sometimes they actually come to me now because of the YouTube channel, and other times actually I'll go out of my way because of where I work right now, and that's actually some of the things that I do. Which I still have to get that interview with a Luminar employee, because I remember I mentioned I would do that in the Tesla video way back when, and I still want to do that. They have an office actually nearby, so I'll see, because sometimes they just say no, but I know. And I will reach out to them through various social media websites, sometimes LinkedIn, yes. Mm. Okay, so in Meta, any thoughts on Para? Para reporting large user growth, possibly taking a bite out of Netflix. So Paramount. Well, again, I think that a lot of people have multiple streaming platforms. The way I kind of thought about this, tell me if I'm wrong, guys, because this is how I thought about it. Adjusted for inflation, even without inflation, the amount, what I call the consumer appetite for content, the price wise, is, closer to, like, it seems like historically has been like $100 per month, because that's what, well, depending on what range you were looking at, but on the low end it was like $70 per month. And so when you combine a lot of these services, you find out that there's still like room to run, and that's what I kind of found, which I thought was interesting. But it might be that the consumer also might be changing its mindset. That could also be the case, and might be having less of an appetite than before. Just because the appetite was X amount in the past doesn't mean it will continue in the future. So, but yeah, it could be that they're taking a bite out of Netflix, but it could be that people are just subscribing more to other things. They're getting rid of cable, which frees up a lot of money to spend on content. Could be that. I don't know. A lot of value. Thanks in advance. Oh, okay. I got to catch up. You guys are so fast. You guys are so fast. Yes. So this is the point. Thank you, Alex. All right. So how important is a company being vertically integrated, and would you say it gives a company a form of a moat if they're the only company in that industry that's vertically integrated? Example, CLF. Vertical integration is great and good if it's well executed, because otherwise it can lead to some stubbornness and can cause some problems. So for example, Intel was not investing enough in its fabrication facilities, and was a little bit stubborn in implementing fabrication or outsourcing fabrication. And that actually turned out to be a detriment. While AMD didn't have to worry about that, they weren't vertically integrated, and they had Taiwan Semiconductor that's hyper focused on the fabrication process. And so that they were like, like the jack of all trades is the master of none thing that can happen. in companies as well. If you vertically integrate everything, you stand to risk that maybe you are an incompetent company in some aspects, and so you kind of stack up the incompetence as you go along. Okay, they need to get rid of the requirement to have Facebook account connected to the Oculus. Literally, a reason I don't own it. Yeah, I can agree with that. They should be, open to everything. Why don't you create a channel on Discord where people can put their portfolios and you can review them for fun? I could do that. I'll talk to the Discord moderator and I'll see if it's possible, because he's the one who does the work for me. So he has to see if he can do that. My gosh, my nose is itchy. All right, so if 50, okay, so quality arbitrage. If the merger between Activision and Microsoft goes through, make 20% on the spread. If you have a quality holding with strong fundamentals, cheaper. Okay, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, that's probably true. That's what he's doing. Fabio, it seems like Lafufu's investments are politically driven. TTCF and Oatly plant companies protect the animals, Tesla for climate change. I think he mentioned himself he's a vegan. Yeah, he's a vegan now. So I have done now more research than I ever thought I would have on an individual, because you guys, if you guys are part of the Discord community, you have seen the voting. By the way, if you haven't voted and you didn't know that there was a vote going on, now's your chance to go vote. On that vote is the financial education portfolio review. So let me see right now. Well, right now actually, no, there's one that's coming close, but right now it is still winning. So Jeremy Financial Education Portfolio Review is winning with the most votes. And after that is PRDO. So no one really wants Coin and Voyager. Interesting. But or Matterport got one vote right now, for now. All right. But now that I announced it, now it's going to get tons of votes. So I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you guys want your voice heard in that aspect, you can go over to the Discord and have your voice heard there. But yeah, I would say that maybe they're politically driven. But yeah, I know he is a vegan. I know that he has a lot of investments centered around veganism. There's a lot of investors out there on YouTube that are like that. I don't know why. Vegan culture is still a minority. And I think, for example, what the future will hold is those cultured meats. Right now, the taste is what we have to figure out. But, lab grown meat might be a real thing in the future. You just have to get it to where a human could not tell the difference whatsoever. We're kind of far from that, but we're getting there. And whoever figures that out and then can make it cheap enough, that's where the money's at. That's where the money's at. Not this like fake vegan stuff. Because I got to be honest, when I went to, for example, BurgerFi, just completely plugging my stock. I'm sponsored by BurgerFi. Just kidding. I tried the vegetarian burger, which was just plants, right? And then I tried I think it was the Impossible or the Beyond Meat. I forget which one they have. They have one or the other. And I did not like the other one. I did not like the fake meat. If I eat a veggie burger, I'd prefer to eat a veggie burger. And I actually thought it was pretty good, to be honest. But yeah. Wait, what? 10 grand into BurgerFi? Because no. What are your thoughts on Google buying businesses and shutting them down? It's a red flag on management's capital allocation capabilities. The thing with Google is they're kind of like they've shown that they can hit, or they can throw stuff on the wall and kind of see what sticks. And so when it does stick, it's a huge gain. So for example, YouTube was an acquisition and it didn't shut down, and they ran it like a loss leader for a while. And now look at it. Now it's incredible. So Waymo, I have high expectations for Waymo. I think Waymo will be a good competitor in self-driving software. I think it's actually going to make inroads, and they're going to offer that to the car companies that aren't really working on theirs at the present moment. So I have expectations for Waymo. I could be wrong on that, but that's the thing of Google at this point. Google's in the phase where they're trying to get their cash cows to still grow, focus on their cash cows, but then grab that money because they have so much of it and just throw it at the wall, see what sticks. And when one sticks, it's a big business for them. Just like a couple years ago, the Google Cloud, they were just starting that, right? And so look at where it is now. I think the Fi has nothing to do with SoFi or finance. It has something to do with them trying to be like Wi-Fi and like new and technological. You can kind of go inside and see it's like modern-esque style. What is the best, easiest way to develop and learn the nuances of investing? Quite literally, going through the motions. Yeah, if I'm being honest, going through the motions. Does it come from pure experience? It can be learned. No, it can be learned. I mean, experience, yeah, it can be learned. For example, if a company estimates earnings with the growth fee for multiple. Okay, yeah. So that's the PEG ratio. Yeah, you're discussing the PEG ratio. I remember your comment from way back up there. The PEG ratio, that's Peter Lynch's style, and yes, there's some truth to that. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Trends-owned businesses. AMD have better CPUs than Intel, in my opinion. I'm a big gamer, and last year Ryzen CPU. This means AMD will 2x. Well, it might 2x, but I actually I built a new computer this year, and it actually has an Intel i9 12th generation. I saw that, in performance-wise, it was a little bit better, but cost to performance is actually very important, and that's where AMD still has the edge. Tesla, I read, for example, that was a Tesla-owned business, not trans-owned business. Is efficient frontier just another academic tool? Can it be applied in the real-world scenario to find ideal weightings for holdings of a portfolio? I mean, it can be used. It can be used. All academic tools, I'll say them generically, all academic tools can be used in the real world. It just depends on, don't paint with a broad brush stroke. All academic tools can be useful in some degree, for my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. Some professors will be like, no, he's wrong. They're very useful. Some will be like, no, that guy's wrong. They're not useful. Varying opinions. Got an email from Hulu and Disney. Yeah, that's the one I have. So yeah, I have that bundle. And no, it's because actually Disney Plus has pretty bad conversion rates from when I was doing the research. The conversion rates weren't that good. It's like around 6 months. Then a lot of people actually don't. They have, I think, one of the worst in the industry, which is perplexing because a lot of people don't think that. A lot of people don't know that about Hulu. And you know who I think mentioned it first? And because I'm mentioning it now. One creator who mentioned it first, and I want to give him credit, actually, is I think Hamish Hodder was actually talking about that first. So yeah, do an analysis on CoinFob if you want, of course. Oh no, I'm gonna do an analysis on it eventually. I have to talk about the Anchor protocol, which is a little bit about another form of getting interest on cryptocurrency. And I got to talk about Voyager. Voyager's got to be talked about. All that commercial paper that they got. Your nose is itchy. I heard that line of Coke line, right? Yeah. So who here is paying for Netflix's platform feature? Like the search tool app on the smart TV. I've resumed the last spot. I am, or I could really stream their content online for free. True. Yeah, that is a thing. Pirating is a big problem for all these guys. I thought Jeremy's investments were roux driven. That's funny. A decent amount of small cap stocks. Okay, so you guys having conversations there. All right. So there's a point of answering Jeremy's portfolio. We all know that it's mainly filled with trash stocks. There's no point. Well, I mean, I guess the point would be to kind of guess some, because I haven't talked about all of them, but I know that he's done a video recently showing his entire portfolio. So I'll be going off of that. I don't know if that's his entire portfolio exactly. Do you think that seems endless and never enough? Actually, apparently that there was, on their last report, I was reading through it, and because it is a holding in the portfolio, and I might add to Netflix, Amazon soon. No promises on that. But it seems like they were saying that they overinvested into warehouses, and when they overinvested into warehouses, that has an implication when you use that kind of language. Well, what does that mean? Well, my brain goes, okay, if you overinvested into warehouses, that probably means you're going to invest less in the future because you're kind of reaching a critical mass here in the United States. All right, maybe you're reaching that because there's only so many warehouses you can build before you're kind of like, okay, we are everywhere. We can literally reach everyone. So maybe that can bring down a little bit of that capex, and it's not going to be that bad. Currently Google, I think, is like fairly, it's not over or under. I think it's fairly valued at the present moment, even though it's come down. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. Okay. So, yes, the performance. Yeah, cost of performance MDs favor the new 12th generation of Intel is really powerful. Yeah. So that's why I went with, because I was like, I want the most powerful, because especially for what I do now, that I do a lot of video rendering. It's so amazing, so convenient, because it renders very quickly, and I do 2 renders across the board. So every video, I try to increase the quality, so I do 2 renders, and so having a good CPU really helps in that case. You're on fire, Fabio. Thanks for answering all the questions. You legend. No problem. I want, that's the point of these live streams, is to answer your questions. And if I have, something pressing to say, I can bring it in or talk about it. But I'll actually bring up the portfolio, and we can actually just have this on view here. And let me actually bring that up here. And I just saw a question about, well, oh, there's a lot of good questions here. Okay, so T-Mobile is paying for my Netflix. Yep. I remember you saying that. Yeah, T-Mobile. I mean, hey, that's a way that they can get more business, because hey, if I got AT&T because I already was paying for Netflix, and so I got AT&T because they were paying for my HBO Max. Look at that. We think the same. But I got to be honest, I probably would pay for HBO Max if T-Mobile, AT&T like slips the rug under me. I got to tell you that the two streaming services I use the most is HBO Max and Netflix. Therefore, Warner Bros. Discovery is the buy, and I'm going balls deep into it. And so is Netflix. Therefore, that's all the research I'm going to do. No, but in all seriousness, those are the only two that I really use quite frequently. I actually find myself more so on HBO Max because they have really good comedies that I like. Some cartoon comedies like South Park. Love South Park. And a couple others. And of course, like for example, I didn't go to see the movie The Batman, but because I have a theater, and I can watch the movie at home. And so it just came out, and I really want to watch it. My wife wants to watch it too, so we're gonna watch it. And I heard good things about it, but I don't know anything about it because I don't allow social media to spoil it for me. So yeah, I'll actually pull this up here, and I'll have it up for us to talk about. If anyone wants to have any questions, here, let me expand that. Okay, so share, and I shall share the screen. There, boom. All right, so it should be shared. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask away. I already did the update video, and now you guys can look at it in real time. Okay, so what do you think about Spotify current price of 109? Spotify, I have expressed my interest in the company. I think, for example, that Spotify is perhaps, and wait, do I have it in my watch list? Spotify. If I don't, I need to add it. I haven't touched this part in such a long time. Yeah, so the watch list, cool. Yeah, so Spotify definitely should be on there. Anyways, so Spotify, I have expressed my interest in it. I thought that perhaps it was a little bit, and oh, there's two of you in here. I thought it was, I can't really put my finger on it in terms of like what price is a good price. I think that they are one of the only ones that are a true competitor to YouTube, and that's saying a lot because a lot of competitors are out there. Like Rumble, and I Capital Mindset has a Rumble, by the way. We're on multiple platforms, right? We are a multiple platform channel. Look at that. So with regards to Spotify, I think they're the only ones that could make it, right? And I mean, something like Netflix at the end of the day might one day try to do that, but we'll see. We'll see. YouTube, it's its own monster. I don't like to say the next YouTube, but they're the closest thing I can see to that. How do you exit a stock you no longer believe in based on valuation basis, even if you are down on it? So if I don't believe in it, I'd take the L. I take the L. So if I literally do not believe in it, because then I'm not going to make the right decision at the right time. I have to. I mean, it depends. I can't think of a situation where I put myself in that, where I don't believe in the stock anymore. I like to say that there are scenarios in my mind sometimes for some stocks that if they play out, I go like, okay, well, that's bad, and I don't want to be part of it anymore after that scenario. So, okay, so like, let's say, take a look at Intel. I got out of Intel. That one, I guess you could say I got lucky because I got out of Intel at a favorable price. But sorry, another text message. But I wouldn't say, I just disagree with management, and because of that, I was out because I don't agree with what they were doing. VMware, yeah, the analysis will actually go out soon, I believe, because I'm trying to actually do it. I want to do it this week actually, because that one I have a little bit of a pass with, because I actually did an investment in Dell based off of the VMware that they had, and that was a fantastic investment. It was one that I don't know if it was really well talked about, but they owned a lot of VMware, and the value of VMware under their books at the time of the investment, because I invested around like $30 a share, somewhere around there. The value of the VMware investment, because they owned 80% of it at the time, because now it's spun off, was more than the value of Dell, and which was really interesting. Okay, so let's look at that. Do I watch Halo? Wait, what do you mean? Halo's a show? There's a show, Halo? I had no idea. I had no idea. I really did not know that. Is Apple going to manufacture RF chips? So if they do and they poach them from Skyworks Solutions, that is terrible, because RF engineers are very rare, very difficult. Not very rare. Yeah, actually, it's actually behind this wall. So this wall, or this room, giving you guys a lot of information here, but this room is actually was a gym, and now it's an upstairs office, and because it gets good insulation, good sound insulation. It's away from the rest of the house, and so I find it very quiet in here, except when when the movie's playing. Then it's not, because the speakers are actually built onto the wall behind here. But yeah, and then actually when you hear the doors that they're very creaky, it's because they're bookshelves. They're bookshelf doors. So they're very creaky when I open them. So if you ever hear that in live streams, when I'm going in and out, maybe I'm getting something, yeah, you'll hear like, it's because it's a bookshelf and not an actual door. But yeah, it's also it's a dark room, I guess. Yeah, I like the light. The light, you don't have like reflecting all over the walls. Okay, so if Elon and Rogan are spotted in front of Planet 13, do you think it will be bullish on my stepbro? Absolutely. Why was APS so high in the past in 2013? That was because of the great financial crisis. So it takes some time for that to actually play out. So when the great financial crisis happened in 2008, all those mortgages foreclosures, took a while for it to kind of go through the plumbing, and then they benefited through there. What's my price target for CRM? Well, CRM, what are they at? CRM, I think, is like at, let's see, yeah, they're at 178. I have to really do an analysis on CRM. CRM is a fantastic business. Of course, if you ask me, I think, like, I know it's a stretch, but I think Meta is eventually going to go after them, in the sense that a lot of B2B solutions through the metaverse. But I do think my wife owns CRM, by the way. She's owned CRM for quite some time now, and it's kind of like one of her big holdings in her portfolio. But she's owned it for some time. It's not her largest holding, but yeah, I do like it. Obviously, in hindsight, she should have sold. She should have sold at the 300. She should have timed it perfectly. Let's see here. Leg did not show. Oh, so Leg did earnings and up 10% today on your watch list. Yes, Leggett and Platt. Leggett and Platt had been disrespected for quite some time, and I actually stopped looking at it for some reason. I don't know why I did that. Well, they're up 5.9%. They're up 5.9%. Maybe the after hours here is incorrect, but they're up 5.9% over the past 5 days. What are they up? Yeah, 5.65%, 7% in the past month. Yeah, they reached a low about 34. I mean, I'd say that they're still in an interesting buy range, but they're range bound. They're range bound. IBM, not interested in IBM at the present moment, but there's a price, I guess, where they are a buy. My screen sharing is blurry. Wait, hold on. Let me do this. Is it better now, or is it still very blurry? If it's not, it's StreamYard's fault, or maybe it's because the video. Maybe because the screen it's actually sharing is a 1440p resolution. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, because I see you saying this. Let me know, everyone, if it is still blurry, and then I'll try to figure out why it is. So Dell looks kind of nice now. What is Dell trading at? Dell is probably trading at a little bit more expensive than back in the day. Back in my day, oh, it's at 47. Did it like fall all the way back down? Yeah, it did. What the heck? Oh, no. Yeah, it kind of did. It kind of fell back down. Yeah, it kind of fell back down. All right. Um, what was my worst investment? I've been asked this before. I'm trying to think. My worst investment. Um, I can't really answer that. I don't really know specifically, like by percentage wise, by time weighted returns. Um, hmm. Hmm. I mean, currently my worst investment is Gazprom in percent returns. It's down 60%. I don't know if that's a cop out answer, but yeah. Thoughts on DBX at these levels? Also, would you have given the new Obi-Wan show a chance? I mean, I have Disney Plus. Like, why not? I mean, if they throw Darth Vader in there, that's my weakness. That's my weakness. But yeah, maybe. So thoughts on Dropbox though? Yeah, I think Dropbox is it. Do I have it at accumulating? Because I think at these prices, it's fair enough to start accumulating again. Where's my DBX? There we are. But no, it isn't accumulating. All right, because yeah, at these prices, I'd probably be accumulating. Yeah, just like nibbling, but yeah, I'd accumulate. What do you think about BlackRock? I mean, good asset manager. I'd love to, work for them and manage a portfolio. Heck yeah. You know how much they pay? Probably a ton. Um, yeah, furniture makes noises. Look at his distinguished gentleman's hallway. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not my hallway. It's a bathroom. It's the executive bathroom. Okay, what brokerage you use? I use several actually. My favorite one is Interactive Brokers. I like, for a retail investment standpoint, Merrill, because I think Bank of America, as far as a retailer is concerned in the United States, unfortunately, if you're not in the United States, this doesn't really apply to you, but they offer a lot. Their program, I think, is really good if you're looking for no annual fee credit cards and all that. And I talked about it in the past, but I think it's a really good bank, and there is a lot of room to kind of expand your relationship. And if you build your asset base through Merrill, up to 100,000. After that, it doesn't matter. And then my favorite though overall is Interactive Brokers. Charles Schwab, I like. Robinhood has a fantastic UI. I don't really care too much per se in terms of the order execution quality, because I'm not a trader. M1 Finance is good for building like your own ETFs. I'm sponsored by all of these, by the way. Just kidding. All right. So what is your long-term thesis for Salesforce? I can only notice that the company's low return ratios, low profit margins, and heavy share dilution. What is so good about CRM? Products are very sticky. They built like an ecosystem in which other good businesses build their products on top of. Think of Viva Systems, for example. They are basically bundling in a bunch of B2B solutions and kind of crowding out a bunch of other smaller software companies. But you still have a fierce competition, so it's not without risk. So I'd say that they're also at risk of squandering some of their assets. But as far as CRM solutions goes, they are definitely number one. If you actually look at the largest companies in the world, most of them just use CRM solutions, because they're clever in using the ticker symbol CRM, because CRM is a type of solution. But yeah, it is still very heavily competitive. So I wouldn't say that for me, it would be like the largest holding in my portfolio ever, because the moat isn't as strong, but it's pretty strong. I don't know what profit margins. Yeah, I don't know what profit margins you're talking about. Are you talking about net profit margins? Gross profit margins is different, because they're spending a lot on the administrative aspects, but the actual product, the margins are pretty high, which means they're able to offer their product at a decent premium. And they trade like a software, they sell it, and you can see the margins. The gross margins are indicative of a software business. So it makes sense. Is that okay? So it is better now when it's zoomed in. Yeah, because I don't know why I was doing that. Opinion on CACC. I can't give an opinion because I haven't actually looked at that one yet. Thoughts on Burger? I thought BurgerFi was a burger broker. Well, technically, yeah, they are. I mean, you're making me really hungry, because again, like I haven't eaten. I only had that granola bar. BurgerFi Burger sounds really good. You know who has, and you see, like, where are all my sponsorships? McDonald's, sponsor me. Check this out. I'm just kidding though. I'm almost half joking, but they have a new chicken sandwich, at least in the States, that is very similar to the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Very similar. For those of you who haven't had Chick-fil-A, you're missing out. Because I know maybe some of you out there have never had Chick-fil-A. It's really good. And that's a company I would 100% wish was public. If any of you were wondering, that is a company I wish was public every day. Every day I just hope, look at the news. Maybe I see that, the Chick-fil-A family changed their mind. And I think maybe in the next generation, they might be able to do it, because I know that the founder, he made his children sign an agreement. But yeah. Okay. So, post-COVID, Dell fell with HPQ, except Buffett went into HPQ instead of Dell. Yeah. So HPQ, he made a bet on HPQ. I think HPQ is trading cheaper than Dell. Dell has Michael Dell. That's still very powerful. Buffett doesn't really, he probably doesn't like that Dell can kind of swing the company in whatever direction. I thought fintech was a sex robot. That's funny. Okay. Speaking of Apple and RF, Corvo is one that I have been tracking for a while, starting selling off before the rest of the market oversold, in my opinion. Yeah. So Corvo, I'll take a look at, because Corvo is known to do more of like the discount RF chips, and Skyworks Solutions is more of like the higher end RF chips, from what I understand. I could be completely wrong on that. I'm not an expert in RF chip design, so they're. Yeah, should have sold it. CRF. Any thoughts on Martin Shkreli? No thoughts that I could share that are productive, I guess. There are some people have good thoughts, some people have bad thoughts, and then interactive is kind of complex, and they're very difficult. What would be difficult to open an account? I mean, what would be a gulp price for Boston Omaha? I don't have one per se. All I have is a nibble price. That is a stock that basically is on the lower conviction levels of a mini Berkshire Hathaway. So Markel is more of a mini Berkshire Hathaway in the making, and something like Boston Omaha is a very small miniature Berkshire Hathaway in the making. So I'm only nibbling on it. It's more going to be very difficult to evaluate these businesses. When I was taking a look at it, I thought of making a video, and I haven't gotten to it yet, believe it or not. And I know it's been a long time in the making, but it's complex to actually come up with an accurate valuation. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. So it's one that I just nibble, and it's at 1% of the portfolio. You can see right there, 1.02%. So it's not like if it goes to zero, I won't even see it. I mean, depends on the analyst. Some analysts have good track records. Some don't. What is your basic thesis on why you bought Adobe at 432? I personally think it's still over. No, it is still overvalued. No. I buy stocks when they're overvalued, just so everyone understands. Because my strategy is, let me actually scroll down to Adobe. So you see Adobe. Adobe's at like 1.13%. I like to go into a stock, and then when I put like a 1% kind of starter position, that's not a position for me. That's kind of like a watch position. And so Thor's another one. Thor's one, and look at Thor jumping today. So Thor's another one that is kind of like a watcher position, but Thor plays a role. Thor's role is it's going to do well if the consumer does well. And then if it does well, then, I will allocate. I recently actually trimmed Thor down to kind of bring it down more to size. Rio Tinto also trimmed down. But yeah, your question was on where are you at? How come I lost you? Adobe. Yeah, Adobe's sitting at 1.13. I think it is overvalued. I would be more of a buyer in like the 200-ish, 300-ish range. So when it gets down to those levels, that's when I would actually be adding greater sums to the portfolio. Right now, it's just going to be just kind of sitting there. You'll see, like if I make any updates, I'll make a video on it. But yeah, I fully hope and expect that it will go down. And then I can add to it. Okay, so what is your management incentives on your DD? If yes, where does one look for it? Well, my model actually brings out the salaries, at least the management incentives per se. You can look for that in various filings by the companies. I don't look at it too much. It depends on the business. Like if I have to question management in the first place, then yeah, I would definitely look at their incentive structure. Like I know the AGRD CEO, she was looking for a quick cash out. and that's why she was trying to sell the business. But all right, I have a question. How do you buy stocks all at once or buy shares here and there? Oh, do you? How do you? Okay, so if I buy stocks all at once, which is a rare occurrence, kind of like Activision, which I did for Activision, and I sold Activision all at once too. So that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of funny that I did that. I sold Activision all at once, and in that video that I made, and then I bought it all back all at once. Yeah, but I normally don't do that. I like to just buy in and nibble in and build the position um, over time, because I feel like buying all at once is kind of like a statement of definitiveness that, that's the bottom, and I don't think I don't play that game. Okay, I don't play that game. I blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, I gotta be honest. I sometimes get the craving to like trim some positions completely out, and just oversimplify it. It looks kind of wonky here sometimes because there's some positions that are not in the portfolio anymore, but they're still there because I like to show newer viewers to the channel that some older holdings that we had. So, but yeah. Okay, so products are sticky, bullish on Johnson and Johnson. Guys, I'm being serious. 17 snaggle hold customer spotted today. Bullish Smile Direct Club business model. Saw one snag tooth cat. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video on Align Technologies, which might actually end up coming into the portfolio someday soon, hopefully. And I'll be doing in the same strategy, buying here, thinking it's a little bit overvalued. Maybe I haven't really made a final decision on it. Eventually, I will be taking some profits, I guess, on some of these holdings someday, on Unum, for example, and perhaps even Molson Coors at some point. But I'm not feeling it on Molson Coors yet. But yeah, really looking through this right now. LYB is actually, wow. LYB snuck up on me. It's doing well, up 18%. Yeah. All right. So, Fabio, I'm from Bulgaria. How can I try Chick-fil-A or whatever it is? Yes. So Bulgaria. So if you ever come to the States, because I think they're in Canada too. But if you ever come to the States or Canada, ever, you must go to Chick-fil-A. You must go to Chick-fil-A. Just like how the British tell me I must go to Nando's, which I have to go to Nando's. Next time I'm in the UK, I'm going to go to Nando's. I haven't tried Nando's, but I heard good things about Nando's. And I know the commercial, like cheeky Nando's or whatever the heck. All right. So, but it's good. It's like a peanut oil fried chicken sandwich, or they have grilled options too if you want a healthier sandwich. But it's just so good. It's so good. It's, as far as fast food goes, it's up to par. Now, McDonald's has almost the same level of quality as a Chick-fil-A. They're very close. And now I'm like, wow, if it's, Chick-fil-A's closed right now and I want a chicken sandwich, McDonald's is right there and it's pretty good. All right. It's not, and it's a higher quality meat than obviously their burgers, right? So I hope they never get rid of it, because they got rid of some other chicken products that they used to have that were higher quality and you didn't feel so garbage after eating them. But anyways. What about SAP? Many companies use, yes, exactly. So SAP is a legacy company, and I think that one's German too. So no, that's another good company. It just they don't have the innovation, Steve. Come on. Stop trying to recommend boring companies. Come on. We're all about innovation, disruption. I'm kidding, of course. But no, I'll take a look at SAP. What the heck? SAP and CRM, and I'll do a video on both of them, because I think CRM now deserves a video based on the price it's at. But yeah. I would go ball, Steve. No, seriously, I would 100%. I would do it. Yeah, no, the spinoffs when I have time are 100%. So far, I have Brody, who is going to be the representative of Frat Boy Finance, and he's going to appeal to a different audience, but he's going to be a degenerate variation of me, and there will be a debate. I'll see how I can get the debate between those two people, well, me and that individual together. There'll be debate on stocks, and I'll see how I do that, but it'll be funny. What do you think about Malibu? Malibu, oh yeah, I mean they make good boats, and the Malibu, I think. Wait, Malibu and Nautique is actually their competitor, and they are actually produced here in the area where I live. So, not like right next door, but close by. Like their factory's like 40 minutes away. So yeah, pretty close by. But I think what the problem with Malibu is they're probably priced so cheaply because there was a lot of buying occurring during the pandemic. For example, the Regal that some of you may or may not have seen, was actually one of the last Regals models in the United States when it was purchased. And so the dealership, you couldn't find a boat at the time. So that was that was a little bit of an eye opener, I guess. And so when you actually take that in consideration, um, the like I think that the market might be telling you that a lot of the demand was pulled forward. Okay, because like when you go to buy a boat and you find out, oh, there's like no boats available, right, of specific kinds, right? And people are, I don't know where these people are getting all their money from, but people are. And well, let's say maybe they didn't spend it on other things. They didn't spend it on travel, and all that money they didn't spend on travel, they have now for a down payment on a boat. Interest rates were down, etc. So yeah, that's probably what the market's pricing in. All right, have you been involved in stocks, looking into company finance? Can tell you your background, how you got your interest area, what did you go about it? How long have you been involved with stocks, looking into company finance? Can you tell your background, how you got your interest in this area? Oh, I got my interest back when I was definitely like it piqued my interest back when I was much younger, when I was in high school. And then kind of like throughout university, I then studied for it, and not studied for it. You don't study for this. Both my degrees were involved in finance related stuff. So one of my degrees was in accounting, the other degree was in finance. And so that was more like the educational background. I had some internships and good experiences there. Then kind of struck gold with where I work now, and then now I'm changing roles in a bit to a different firm, but it's good. And then I might come back to this firm for all I know. But wait, did I answer your question? I don't know if I did. Stocks, looking into company finance. Can you tell your background and how? Well, okay, I give you my educational background, my work background. And how did you go about it? Okay, so how to go about it. So internships, you get, similarly how any other college student would get an internship, per se, or other jobs. And uh, the the best way, I guess, is putting yourself out there. And if you're really passionate about something, if you're asking because you're a student, if you're asking in that context, don't underestimate your ability to put yourself out there. Really try to show that everyone that you are passionate about this. Also, but don't try to like talk to the wrong person, because maybe the other person you're talking to is not passionate about it, and they're just gonna be like, oh, don't talk to me. But so let me be directed passion. Directed passion is kind of what I'd probably call it. Get involved with maybe some student organizations, which aren't always the best, but at least it shows you're interested. And yeah, and hopefully you're studying a field that is interesting to you. Okay, so I should have started with that. All right, so by the way, Fabio, Neo should be on. Yes, it is on the. It definitely is. Trust me, it is. Have you? Oh, you haven't put a line onto your portfolio yet, right? No. You can see it right here. It's not in there. It's not in there. Do you trade options? Yes, I do. Just don't show them. That's a little bit more in the danger side. Wouldn't really feel comfortable sharing too much about it. I shared a recent options trade where I sold contracts on AGRD, this position right here, and yeah, and I didn't sell options on the full position, but I sold options on a decent amount of the position, generated some extra income, and closed the position. And I already talked about closing the position. So I shared that in the Discord community as well, I think first, and I made a video on it more recently. So again, that was more in lines with what's going to happen in about 2 days, and wanted to take some risk off the table. Okay, so how do you dollar cost average? Well, how do you dollar cost average? You just buy in. Do you follow a rule? Oh, okay, so the follow-up question: do you follow a rule to dollar cost average? Kind of. I create like groups of price targets or groups of tranches in which I'd be buying a lot more. But yeah. Chick-fil-A sauce. Chick-fil-A sauce is amazing. Chick-fil-A sauce is amazing. I always stock up on Chick-fil-A sauce. How do you think about FCX? What do you think about FCX? Can't give you an opinion because I haven't really looked at that one. Mike Sath is the only one qualified person on YouTube to speak about this investing S word. Yeah, probably he is. Whatever the methadonic addict Mike's. Yeah, we start doing like meth right here. You're looking at Regeneron. Their financials, fantastic, consistent growth, management, and efficiency. I mean, I'll look into Regeneron. Another biotech. Mike Stathis should do a video on exposing Fabio. Absolutely. Yeah, I would actually welcome that, and he should definitely do one. Why BP? Why hasn't Mike Stathis been posting? I miss his content. I actually really enjoy his content, by the way. I'm his biggest fan. I'm a bigger fan than you, BP. I watched every single one. In fact, I probably know more about Mike Stathis than I really want to know about Mike Stathis. I just don't share it on the YouTube channel yet, but there's some interesting things. All right. Anyway, asked earlier to do. I apologize. You see, if I ever go over someone's question, just ask it again. I don't do it on purpose. Asked earlier, but how do you short stocks? No, I tend to stay away from shorting personally. Yeah, it's just not my forte. Maybe I'm just like too dumb to short stocks personally. That could be it. But I mean, like, if anything, I would buy put options, and that's would be the extent of it, because then I can limit my capital loss potential, while still kind of experience some of the upside on that downside of that stock. Depends on the premiums, though. The premiums do matter. If you go to Thailand, you have to go to Miss Kitty Massage Parlor. It's very nice. Face Fabio, you'll never have the credentials. Yeah, I won't. It's impossible. Swinging mindset. Your cat makes you look 12. Well, that's the point. I'm trying to look younger. Were you bullish on your post? What are you bullish on for post stream food? Oh, probably McDonald's. Well, because it's the only thing open. Well, no. I mean, there's only fast food open at this time, which is unfortunate. And as if I don't cook, I should not be lazy. I just go cook myself. Just can't be lazy. Just gotta do it. Just gotta cook. But then again, it's just a credit card swipe away. You get food from McDonald's. Had a great earning today. Oh yeah, let me check that out, because QSR is a company that I don't touch because of different reasons. QSR, restaurant brands. Okay, they had good earnings, but the market didn't really respond well. It's just only up 1.12% here today. Yeah, earnings. And by the way, Burger King in the United States, for those of you who are foreign, it's absolutely horrendous. It has a very bad reputation, but foreign Burger King has a good reputation, much better than domestic Burger King. I don't know why. Whoever's in charge of domestic Burger King, fire them and put in charge whoever is in charge of international Burger King. I go to like Spain sometimes, or when I've been to Spain, it's very successful there. It's more successful in Brazil. And I'm not talking about in terms of dollar amounts. I'm talking about, from customer satisfaction, from what I've seen, is better than here. What factor do you were looked at by the average investor? Wow, where do I begin? A ton, an absolute ton. I think maybe, good management is probably overlooked, like as in it's a good thing when they have really good management, but sometimes they don't really. But then, I don't know, sometimes, because then you have retail also kind of idolizing certain managers, and basically saying they could do no wrong. And while, that might be true to some extent, might also be dangerous assumption. But there's quite a bit. There's actually more stuff that I would say that they put too much emphasis on than that. Predicted next crash. Repeat the crash like COVID. Sure. Are you planning on having Rob the pop? Yeah, I would actually enjoy having Rob on. I think it would be a good live stream. I think if I would have him on, I would definitely try to draw the conversation around Warner Bros. Discovery, because that's a small holding that we both have. Where is it at? Warner Bros. Discovery. Yeah, sitting at like 2.01% of the portfolio. And yeah, it's I think that'd be a good conversation. Mike Stath has actually predicted 2008 Fannie Mae crash and spotted the bottom in 2009. I'm giving you free advertisement, Stathis. Come on. You got to do the exposure video. Come on, I'm giving you free advertisements. The least you can do. Do you think I should go back to school and pursue a doctorate for gender studies? I heard that since I'm a lesbian in a man's body. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Julius, you kill me. You have some of the best comments sometimes with the best jokes here. If people can kill their babies anymore, oh my gosh. That should benefit which company the most? I mean, if you're driving like from the standpoint that, you know, population growth would tick up slightly, I don't know, like most companies that benefit from consumer demand. I wouldn't really know in that one. Honest would benefit. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's not catatonic. Only the greatest investor to have ever lived. Of course, you know, just like, yeah, whatever. But it's a topic that I guess the other viewers here can brush you up on. I won't really spend too much time on that. BP is a regular. He comes by now and again and bestows us upon his wisdom. So why don't you ever talk about gold or silver, which is God's money, according to Robert Kiyosaki? Funny enough, someone in the Discord requested that I do a video reaction to Robert Kiyosaki's video. I eventually, I guess, have to talk about that guy. Yeah, when I get to it, I'll get to it, but it's going to be an interesting, I guess, reaction to that. I have gold and silver, but not like the way you think. I just collect some things, some pieces for myself, but just for fun. I mean, I like shiny rock. What can I say? I like shiny rock. Yeah, I don't even know how much percent of the portfolio it makes up. I don't even consider it like a percent of a portfolio. I just consider it like an item. Okay. In this one investment was Merry Old Soul. Hope Witcher season 3. Yes, I do. You see, bullish on Netflix. Okay. What are your pricing groups? What are my pricing groups? Yeah. So, I don't like. It depends on the business, obviously. So I'll like create scenarios where I believe like the business where I would want to add to it the most. Like I said, I don't typically like to go all in at once. I like to kind of just develop my strategy and follow that strategy as I add in. Okay, so that's kind of what I like to do there. Pop a TTCF. Oh, you know, I mean, I could head over. Do they sell it at Walmart? If I go to Walmart, maybe I can pop a TTCF, get a macaroni or pizza bowl, whatever. Okay, Mike Stathis hasn't been posting videos because he's busy doing real stock research for his clients. Real research as opposed to goofy analysis like your stock reviews, Fabio. Okay, I mean, that's fair. I went to Burger King today. I'll buy QSR tomorrow. Cool. BK is the worst fast food spot by far. Yeah, I know that's the general consensus in the United States market. I judge my food by the investment based on the size of the turd. I think this is getting funny. Yeah, you guys are going ham on Burger King. Geez, you know, you guys are really hammering Burger King here. Is QS on the YouTube stock list? QS, it's a 10x YouTube stock. Been getting videos. QS. Oh my gosh, I got to remind myself. Is it on QS? What is that? What the heck is this? QuantumScape. What the heck is this? Is this that energy company? Fine, I'll add it to the YouTube stock list. I'll add it to the YouTube stock list. What if I rob the popular investor? Like I steal from him? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I can't help it. Mike Stath has recommended Netflix at $3. Also, he wrote about the exact time the Fannie Mae on the other one, short Fannie Mae and the other one in 2008. Now, BP, tell me again. What do you use his services? Mike Stathis' services? Honest, my bonest. Do you know anyone who has actually successfully retired by investing in index funds? Yes. Anecdotally, I know of, I think 3 Yeah, 3 households in my personal circle that retired, and they only did index funds. And one of them when I spoke to them was mutual funds most of the time, and then towards the end of their life, they actually switched everything to index funds. They took a hit, um, um, but yeah, they switched over to just index funds, and they actually just buy the SPY. That family. It was an interesting conversation, but yeah, I know that they are retired. They're retired, and they're fairly well off. BP Mike predicted the exact day and time I was born. That's funny. Funny that I was going to say the massage parlors. Thoughts on TTCF? Jeremy is buying relentlessly right now. I saw the usage of the word relentlessly. In fact, there was a text message going on between a chat that I'm in with other channels, and there was a interesting thing brought up that Jeremy is he had a video a while ago saying that Spotify is not expensive, and it was like $1,200-ish. It's like 400 something bucks today. Something interesting to note there. But no, TTCF is like, he's gonna probably maybe go down with the ship. Kudos to him for just like sticking to it though. There is a universe in which TTCF could be successful. I'm not ruling it out. They just have to prove it, guys. They just have to prove it. It's not like an impossibility, but it's an improbability. It's an improbability, not an impossibility. I don't really define things as like defensive stocks, but I guess the traditional term of defensive stocks, yeah, it helps your portfolio. I buy assets I want, and that's it. I'm very simple. I don't really overcomplicate things beyond that. Peaky Blinders. Oh yeah, Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders. I like that. What are your thoughts on oil? Oil is probably. I'm still participating in oil to some degree, but I'm not nearly as heavily invested as I was once before. As ConocoPhillips, it keeps kind of rising above that 100 mark. I keep selling some of it off, yeah, I'm more on the selling bandwagon than the buying bandwagon. I know that a lot of retail switched over to the buying bandwagon, but yeah. Cole, Burger King, McDonald's has no vegan options. Yeah, because McDonald's has no vegan options. Even their fries have milk in them. I mean, okay, if you're a vegan yourself, then I understand. Yeah, you got to go where the vegan options are at. But we are refraining from penny stocks from the YouTube stock list. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. The only thing that's refrained from as far as penny stocks goes is me doing videos on them in any form of positive light where I highlight them a lot. That's a restriction on me. Thoughts on Estee Lauder? Fantastic business, good moat, good brands, good margins, expensive perhaps, but like everything else about it. My last favorite part of investing is researching the 10K. Oh my gosh! Oh wait, I clicked on that. That's good though. The TTSQs are relentless. They are relentless. I started pondering on runways in investing and was wondering if you think about runways and how to identify a long runway if you do at all. I look for durable business models that seem to have no end in sight. So if I see any form of like concern that there's going to be massive disruption in the coming future, I'd be very concerned. And I'll tell you, like the video that will come out tomorrow morning on the car dealerships, we'll kind of get into that a little bit. I think it's important to note, because a lot of these companies, these car manufacturers, they will, or at least they're trying and attempting to eventually circumvent them. And so that's something to keep an eye out. I won't say it. I won't say, of course, it's performed terribly. And the thing is, like, each day that it does come down, it's technically is de-risking itself. I am fair on that. The original video said that Tattooed Chef was at a fair value of about $2 a share. So like, for example, we see like a $2 share stock, and not a fair value at a price point at which I would like consider it. Would be about $2 a share. What oil stocks did I buy before? I had exposure to Occidental Petroleum and ConocoPhillips and Gazprom. Those are the three. Humble. Oh, HMBL has to be on the list. Yeah, actually, HMBL definitely should be on that list. I don't like Lafufu. That's a lot of people, I guess. I think Jeremy said he wants to increase his TTCF from 88K shares to 100K shares. Wow, that's a lot of shares. That's roughly another 100K dollars. Wow. I opened up my 401K with a company. Really surprised they offer 401K for contributing 2% of my salary. Yeah, I've actually I mean, in this newer job, they actually changed the benefit structure. So I'm definitely going to be actually utilizing my 401k now a lot more than before, and actually because it's self-directed as well, which is important for me. But yeah, no opinions on Parker Hannifin, unfortunately, because I don't know much about them. So if I gave you an opinion, it'd be irresponsible. I am not saying it's trash because it dropped down, but because of the company's fund. Yeah. The fund, no. Yeah, I agree with that. Companies, like, it's improbable. The success is improbable. Oh, swing and miss is a joke. You see, I'm just like I'm uncultured. I'm uncultured, Cole. Why would investors not put all of their money in technology? Haven't people always been making new technology? I mean, yeah, with that argument, where could we go wrong? Um, yeah, Fabio was selling Oxy heavy back in the day. Yeah, I was selling tons of Oxy. Yeah, back to that old trope. Um, Okay, so Jeremy, scam artist, what is okay? So what are the chances we face stagflation again, Fabio? Stagflation. Yeah, I mean it's there. Like, okay, so like if inflation doesn't slow down, but the economy does slow down, and we get like still the inflation kind of persists and stagflation is there. Yeah, I mean it's a probable scenario. Like I'm not like the best person to ask on that kind of stuff. I'm not an economist. My investment perspective is that I wouldn't be surprised if it's there. Like I wasn't surprised with this liquidity crunch that we're in, and I don't know exactly when it's gonna end. I have no idea. I showcased in that more recent video what I said in January kind of still stands, and you know like I showed you today with some of these REITs, they did kind of faced some trouble. Some REITs didn't. Some REITs actually benefited from the decrease in competition for some of their bidding process. At least that's what the market's kind of pricing in. But yeah. Fabio, are you? I will get to that question. What do you think about Chevron? Chevron's the big mamma jamma. I don't even use that phrase. I don't know why I said that, but that's the hunger setting in. But CVX, very good company, oil company, and yeah, I less risky than other oil companies. I'd say that better than ExxonMobil. Yeah, fair opinion. Fair opinion. I probably, from the amount of emails I get a lot of flack when I say it in videos, but I think I share that opinion at this point, because I got a lot of emails for people all saying kind of the same thing. When you hear the same story repeating and repeating about how the business practices of his 401, I'm not 401k. I just read the word 401k and I said the word 401k. The business practices by his company were fairly questionable. So I quit my Audi sales job because they reduced my margin twice in 3 years. I was there. I felt like I have no moat. Very interesting, Daniel Liu. That's a very interesting perspective, and something that I'm actually kind of and glad I made that video then. So that it's even more of a concern. You're kind of like an anecdotal evidence, to be fair, to my point, or against my point. So even though you are supporting my point, but it's I think kind of showing that in the numbers too. So it's beyond the anecdotal evidence. I think that you have a real experience, and I think it's kind of showing him kind of what the business strategy is moving forward. A lot of the car manufacturers are saying, we got to go direct to consumer. We got to reduce these margins a little bit. We got to, try to improve things, because Carvana is coming in like a storm, and competition is ripe, and there was disruption, innovation, all that stuff. Matthew, what do you ever? Will you ever? No, I will never retire. Live with strong man. No. But no, I will never. I don't think I'll retire. I don't have I have plans to retire. I say that now, but I don't have any plans to retire. I'm not a postmodernist. No, I do think there are objective truths. So yeah, postmodernist philosophy, no, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. With Disney under November 2019 price, stock was at 138. It is now, it's at 113. Wow, I got to do another video on Disney. I did a video on Disney a while ago, and there was a big Disney fanboy who did not like that price valuations that I was doing on Disney. They did not like it. And now look where we are. All right, so I avoid buying stocks that are in technology because they will be out of date, like horses and trains. I mean, true. Okay. I want to watch Jeremy versus Strongman in a boxing match. That would definitely be a strongman victory because, you know, the size, the weight difference. Um, I'm throwing out my old bed sheets right now. Fabio, ask BP if he can give them to Mike Status. I don't know. Well, BP, if you're still here, I mean, I see you're still saying the old trope. Mike Stats #1. BP, you still didn't answer. Like, do you use his services? I know there's a little bit of delay, obviously, between the stream, but you know, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. As always, you know, BP, you're still always welcome here on the channel. And yeah, just get Mike Stats to kind of oust me. I would really enjoy that. LOL Mama Jamma, bye. With Disney under November 19 high. Oh, we already went over that. Mike Stats is #1. Thoughts on Joseph Carlson portfolio. The video is going to be out. I'm going to put that out for vote to next week. That will be next week. So this week, I try to only put one portfolio review video a week so that they don't conflict, so that they happen. And then the other 4 that are competing. And I always do the runner-ups, by the way. Just because it doesn't win doesn't mean I don't do it. The runner-ups do win as well. I will do videos on the runner-up. It just sets the priority, the tone of priority. Kathy Woods. Oh my gosh. This is funny. Do you think Shell is better than XOM? No, they have less amounts of oil reserves. So they're a little bit riskier in that end. Shell is going to be a little bit more desperate to do that renewable energy. The reason I asked about investment runways is because I watched the video about Pabrai and said that Coke and Geico have very long runways still. Caught me off guard because Co seems like a decline. No. It's because, okay, so the business model is not going to be disrupted. Coke is still going to be Coke. Geico is still going to be Geico. Insurance is still going to be a very viable business model. It's about disruption. Like, the business model is not at risk of completely drastically changing. And so, like, even though Coca-Cola is kind of in its mature phase, it will still grow with population growth. It can still return cash flows to shareholders through the form of dividends, buybacks over time, and that actually compounds over time. So no, they still have very long runways. Whether or not they're buys right now is a completely different story. But the business as a runway, you know, it still has tons. It still has tons. That's the main focus of what he's saying. I might be putting words in his mouth, but that's what I would, you know, argue. All right. So what's your growth projections for your channel? Any IPO plans? I mean, if I ever did, because this is all technically under a business, right? So if I ever did, because I actually was probably going to do, I had to transfer assets to the business account, and actually, you know, I started a new portfolio under the business, and so maybe if it IPOs one day, it's just going to be a holdings company, right? And that will be the end of it, right? It'll just be an holdings company. That's pretty much what we'll do. With a little bit of a media segment. You see, it sounds sexier now. You know, it's like a holdings company with a media segment. Beautiful. But no, but that's all jokes and fun. Thoughts on Facebook stock? I shared it at the beginning of the stream, but I do like it. It is. You can see here, and you see, I'm still sharing my screen. The whole point of me sharing here is if you have any questions on this. But where is it? Where is Meta? Meta right there. Yeah, I'm still adding to Meta. Still in accumulation phase. I have priced not price projections, but prices that I would like to add a little bit further down from where we are now. Using $300 Tesla stock, is it? I started to get interested. I mean, look, I like the product, and I'm gonna get a Tesla pretty soon now, a Model 3 Performance. So I'm gonna get rid of my Rust Bucket car, and I'm gonna replace it with a Tesla Model 3 Performance in blue, and that's what I'm set on. No Nothing set in stone. And then again, I'm probably going to do it for fun. Even if you guys say no to this, I'm still probably going to do it. I'm going to document my experience in trying to get another electric car. See how much the dealerships kind of upcharge me on getting that electric car, the availability of said electric cars. So I'll try my lot out with Ford, try to get the Mustang. I'll try my lot out with perhaps, Hyundai, etc. So it'll be interesting. Maybe. I have no idea. ARK is deep in the value territory, according to Kathy Wood. Of course, she's going to say that. She's a saleswoman. Because they have limited content that's already made, so don't have to pay for as much as new content. Yeah, but you see, index investing with Cole. That is where I have to push back on there. They are actually spending more on content than Netflix, and that's because the consumer actually still wants newer content. So it's actually not actually the case that old content simply means you don't have to spend on new content. In fact, there's not so much of a correlation on that. It does mean that you have good brands that you can continuously create new content for those brands, but you still got to spend money on those new brands. No, it stands for I'll refrain for it. I'll let you guys decide when I do the video. Our portfolio review. Our portfolio review probably will be something along the lines, but I want to sell out, guys. So I want to leave that door open. I want to sell out to ARK. They're actually headquartered in Florida, so I want to sell out to them. I want to get paid lots of money by ARK, so I don't want to talk bad about them. I'm just completely kidding. Good night, Dark Knight, or good day. Yeah, because you're in Europe, but goodbye. Glad you were on the stream. Interesting. I only asked because your consistency on stating investing is nuanced, and Snyder pilled me to think that you might, even though it's a stretch. I forgot what the context of this question was. Oh no. Interest. I only asked because your consistency on saying investing is nuanced. Oh, MP, what did you say last? No, I've completely forgot the context. Too many comments. Too many comments. Too many comments. What the heck? Where are you? Where are you at? Where are you at? I can't find you. Unfortunately, I cannot find your previous comment, so I lost the context of the question. And how unfortunate. All right, let me scroll down. But yes, investing is nuanced. I do believe that. Stocks don't pay dividends. Fabio, why do you invest in stocks that don't pay dividends? With dividends, you can use the money to buy more shares, which snowball and give you exponential growth. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is true. And there is a nuanced aspect to buybacks versus dividends. Buybacks aren't always better than dividends, but dividends can be, and have statistically in the past been a greater source of shareholder returns than anything else. But yeah, that's neither here or there. But it's all depends. It depends. Oh yeah, I think such a Squid Game. Yes. Oh, I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too, random citizen. You know the quote where that's from. Not gonna lie, kind of played dumb to get you to go into more detail about it. I mean, fair enough. You do what you need to do. Wondered okay, to warn an explanation on holding company. Check it out. I think could be a 10 bagger. Is that context to something, or is talking about mine? What stock do you think will benefit from the Europe gas and oil problems? Gazprom, ConocoPhillips, all of them. I don't know. Total, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to. Postmodernism. Sorry, let me get back to that. But yeah, I don't know really the answer to that. I haven't looked into the European market per se. A rig might actually which is a smaller company, might actually benefit from that a lot. Could be because restrictions on the mainland doesn't mean necessarily restrictions on the sea. Okay, because you're consistently stating, yeah. Oh, I understand. Now the context makes sense. Postmodernism. So yeah, it makes it sound like I'm a postmodernist, but no, I assure you, I'm not a postmodernist. I think there's objective realities and some objectivity in the world. I just believe that what I mean by nuanced is the strategy or the analysis should adapt to the type of business that we're looking at, because each business is different. So for example, if I sell shoes and you sell makeup, those are kind of different customers. So we have to analyze the businesses perhaps in different ways. The cost to ship will be different, all these things, cost of production. There's so many different differences between these businesses. I just had a grammar fart there. TTCF is the most obvious buy right now. Yeah, probably. I don't know. We need to see one character from Star Wars Episode 2, 1 minute showtime to have its own series. Maybe. What is this? I saw Strongman say $200 max for Tesla. Felt like Fabio wanted to push back against that statement. You were there, Cole. I mean, like, I really haven't really looked at Tesla. Well, actually, I did. I got to revisit what I looked at. I just don't remember what I looked at, what it was with Tesla. But yeah. Like, right now, I see the Tesla vehicle as probably one of the most compelling electric vehicles present within that same price bracket. There are better ones that are for value, depending on what you're looking at. There's already ones that exist that are good value, by the way. There's the Nissan Leaf, the Kona Electric. Those are the quote unquote affordable electric vehicles. And of course, the Prius has been there for a long time. If someone was looking for efficiency or getting away from gas prices, that's always been there. So, you know, Tesla's not offering anything new in that aspect. But yeah, like in a lot of things, Tesla's kind of has a lot of gimmicks. Like the self-driving is it's not necessary. It's kind of like a quality of life kind of thing. But I don't know. Fabio, what do you think about Strongman's model and his DCF analysis? Everyone is going to develop their own variations of the DCF analysis. There's quite literally a massive amount of ways to develop a DCF analysis, a massive amount of ways. Is there a right answer? Maybe. Is there a wrong answer? Maybe. I'll say that some models I've seen out there are lacking money. So no, I'm just kidding. But just differences don't necessarily mean better or worse. Just different. That sounds like such a cop-out answer. Oh my gosh. It's like, no one's better than anyone else. There's just, people are just different. No, but I'm being serious. It's like, yeah, it's different. I will say that some variations of the DCF model are easier to build and much quicker to implement, but accuracy might wane. And accuracy is very important. So yeah, that's all I'll say. Transportation brothers. People get streaming services solely to watch The Office. Whoever controls that controls streaming. Yeah, well, that's Peacock. So you don't like who's that? I don't know who that is. NAT will do well. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like him, but it's still my big. Oh, you guys are having your own conversation there. So when is Bitcoin going to break 100K? I have no idea, but I'm like a sideline cheerleader for that stuff. What do you think about Strongman's model? Oh, did you ask this question twice? Did you? I already answered that question. So still overvalued, but very close to overvalued. I think that's probably about Tesla. My buddy and I are going to start trucking company called Trans Bros. Solid idea. Yeah, pretty solid. And make sure you got the truck stop there. What do you think about me, Kevin? He seems pretty driven to me, and I think he's learning as he goes. Okay, he's showing, like, he definitely has like a passion. He has like a lot of drive. Yeah. He's older than me, so I can't really criticize him. I'm just kidding, but no, he has a lot of dedication to what he does, so maybe he can actually pan out to be something really well. I don't really know. I think my personal opinions on Kevin is he's really good at real estate, and he kind of segued and pivoted into stocks. And that, I want to watch him to make sure he doesn't become like, because I think he has a clear path to pivot to become another Kathy Wood. And you know what I think Kathy Wood, she's a good saleswoman. And then if he creates his own indexes or ETFs, that's a natural pivot for him to actually become worth hundreds of millions of dollars because of his fan base. And then he can, kind of, if he can keep being a good salesman, then there you go. That's going to be his strategy, I guess. And then you guys, as viewers of YouTube, can make the decisions on your own behalf, whether or not it's good or bad. Right. All right. So me, Kevin is too much of a politician. Yeah, you see, but yeah, he's like a good sales guy, and he can pacify critics. How much will the software be? No idea, Lord. It will be, my opinion, would be fairly affordable. How about I would like to hear your opinions. What do you think down below? Not in the comment section, just here in the comments here. Down below, share your thoughts, give your feedback. Yes, twice. Oh yeah, you were talking about that. Anyone who thinks Netflix doesn't have a moat, and I don't understand how left field that is, but someone said something about earlier, doesn't understand the barriers to success in streaming. Yeah, no, there's not many streaming services, and there won't be that many. Okay, so yeah. I think the part of moat. I think about statement part of the moat, at least, albeit a more narrow moat. Yeah. Fabio, when you get to the strip clubs with the boys, why do you always say you wish there were more men strippers there? I don't know why I do that. I have no idea why I do that. Fabio, how many years have you already lived in your life? I'm going on the 25th year now. So yeah, I'm going on the 25th year at this point. And yeah, it's going by fast. I can tell you that. Radiator shot 2. I don't know what that is about. Tree Fitty for the software. Tree Fitty for the software. All right. Tree Fitty. Meet Kevin will destroy his reputation if he makes an actively managed ETF. And the problems that ARK in the last year will be hard and smooth. Talk his way out of it. Yeah, I think maybe he wants to avoid that. Maybe he becomes like a salesperson. But yeah. Kevin has become less genuine over the years. His content 3 years ago, hate it now. It's trash. Now it tries to pump out as much content as humanly possible when full V. I mean, I've been trying to pump out tons of content too, but I can't put out that much content. I've been trying. I'm just like, I need sleep, but trying to do it. So I don't answer that question, but I guess someone, if they really put a lot of work into it, could figure it out. But won't answer that one. If you like my ideas, you like my ideas, not because of how much I'm worth. Caesar my palace. Oh, I love Vici Properties, by the way. I love Vici Properties. For celebratory purposes, not to identify theft, I swear. It is sometime this year. Cop out answer. It is sometime in this year. But I actually have 2 birthdays, by the way, because of a little bit of a mishap that occurred when I moved to the United States. A little bit of a mishap occurred, so I have 2 birthdays. I think I'm funnier than in the chat. I guess I'm looking at in the private bathroom behind you and around 2 million. I will not confirm or deny, but yeah. The secret to pumping content out like Kevin and Gary Vee is to document rather than to create good, useful content that is actually valuable. Therefore, you cannot. You're saying that it's impossible to do it? Are you challenging me? V for valuation? Is this a challenge? Challenge accepted. No, I'm kidding. No, I won't. I will not be able to do it. The amount of content he puts out is going to be pretty incredible. It's incredible. So stepsister scene, maybe a stepsister scene. I love laugh at Cole. Oh, okay, so you guys are talking about that. Fabio, what software were you just talking about? Well, I'm working with a developer to actually get the model out on the website. Website model, software, whatever you guys want to call it. Yeah, so that's basically what we're talking about. Yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. Hmm. Yeah, like filters. Yeah, we can do that. No, no, it's not like the DCF per se. Yes, the whole thing, the whole enchilada, and all of the information that it can gather in terms of financial statements going back at least 30 years. That's what it's capable of. I kind of limit it in the front facing end of the DCF that I use. And I only use one of them. There's also like a real estate pro forma A, B, and C that it actually does as well. But that's for like private real estate investments. Also commercial, because actually it is used for commercial. And you kind of tell like your debt levels, your loan to value ratio, and stuff like that. And if you have other investors coming onto the deal with you, and it spits out like valuations. I don't use that because like why would I be valuating private real estate on the channel? But yeah. Mhm. Software thing girl. Just name the stock. It's gonna be 10x 5 times a day. Model my auto. Ripping into coal. Why is this chat turned into ripping into coal? You guys and I, Lafufu made talking in odd phrases hilarious. Tesla my Esla. No, he definitely did. He absolutely definitely did. Um, well, I wouldn't be able to afford it, but maybe $100 is the minimum. I don't know. No. Wouldn't be anywhere near that. Do not worry. No. The whole philosophy of capital mindset is to make, if anything is ever offered, and it's because I worked it, but it will be affordable, because again, it's still, I want to impact everyone positively. Also, kind of keeping in mind that everyone in different parts of the world has different affordability ranges. And so I basically just have to make sure that the costs don't destroy me longer term. And I can also afford to have employees working on the actual stuff. So you have good quality, because you want good quality. I don't have the time to, and I don't know the exact capability. I don't have the exact capabilities to actually maintain something like that. But the individual who I have working with me, and I'm right now, he's really good. He's really good. So I gotta actually, pay him. So there's something called, like people having to live. So yeah, with that aspect, that's basically what it's for. But it's within mind of keeping it very affordable. So I have like uh thoughts on it, but that's again always the theme of this channel. And it's an optional. It's not needed. What language is the software coded in? Um, well, depending on what part of it, and it's not, we keep calling it a software. Okay, we keep calling it a software, but aspects are in Python. And then some aspects of it actually are in what's it called? Java. And I don't think any HTML is being used that I know of. Hmm. But yeah. C++. No, not C+. Not C+. My wife works a lot with C++. That's her shindig. Cole's Poland, my whole oh my gosh, these guys. Has some thoughts on it. Yep. So you'll be working 180 hours a month and will be earning around 650 a month. Okay. Well, I mean, like for example, for those who are in specific kinds of situation, that's why the courses are going to be pay what you want. And so you get the information out there. And if you feel the need to, you can pay. If you don't want to, you don't pay. Maybe you can also pay by watching the ad over and over and over again and clicking. And especially, by the way, this is what I do. I don't maybe we should start a trend. If you guys want to, I have a theory, and spread this like wildfire. I have a theory. Of course, do this to creators you like. Do this to creators like. Don't give it to Lafufu, for example. But let's say you see like a scam advertisement. You know which ones I'm talking about. You guys have definitely seen it on YouTube. Let's say you see it. All right. What I do is I will watch the ad the full way through, but I will click on the ad over and over and over again and exit and click and exit and click and exit. I'll interact in every possible capacity with that advertisement, so that I know that I will, one, not give them business, and two, they have spent as much money as possible on that advertisement, on me viewing that ad. And I do that frequently. So like if I'm on a channel creator that I'm like, I like, and I see an ad like that, oh, you bet you're sweet, bottom dollar. I'm just like playing around with that ad, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to make. So eventually, if everyone did that, I guarantee you, YouTube would become a hostile environment for those scams. Okay, because they won't want to do it anymore. They'll be like, oh gosh, okay, you know. But yeah. Oh, got the super chat, 1.4 million. All right, Julius, what do you want me to do? You want me to strip? I'll do it for that super chat. This dude has real numbers as plus plus. I also want to pay negative $100 for a course. I'll send you my PayPal. Yeah, I did say pay what you want. Maybe I just start donations and just like I pay you to take my course. That'd be funny. I'm going to overtake very good food company market share by starting a very good food company. Yeah, that's a big strategy. Yeah, do the strategy, everyone. Let's like get onto this. Yeah. So if I pay you guys for the course, I mean, there you go. Yeah. Smack that ad. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. I'm telling you, just do it. Well, if you have YouTube Premium, that's fine. The creators still get money when you have YouTube Premium and you watch. So that's still fine. But if you don't have YouTube Premium and you really want to stick it to them, and again, it's a creator that you enjoy, that you like, you do that, you're gonna hurt the scammer, and you're gonna benefit your a creator that you like, whatever it is. Every time you see one of those that you feel the need, that there's like they're obviously like scammy, you can do that. All right. That's what I do. I don't know if it works. Maybe YouTube has like a limit that they don't like allow that, and they thought about that, but I don't know. Yeah. Chicken strip, please. When is the course going to be released? So I'm aiming for summer. I'm aiming for the middle of summer because it's a lot of work. I'm going to release one of them in the summer because I'm not working on all three at the same time. So I actually started working all three at the same time, and it's kind of too much. So I'll ask you guys right now, everyone here on the live stream, you guys can answer finance, accounting, or personal finance in the description. Not the description, sorry. What am I saying? In the comments in the live chat, and I'm going to visually count, and that's going to dictate which one is released first. Good night, Cole. I guess you have a job tomorrow. Right now it's 10:47. 10:47. All right, so I see one for finance, personal finance, one for personal finance. Pornography, okay. Finance again, personal finance. We have an even split right now. And one for pornography. I can do a course on pornography. Just these are the angles. These are the optimal angles. You want to, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know where that's going. All right, but yeah, so I got an equal weighting for, okay, a third one for finance and another one for pornography. We have two for pornography. So finance is currently winning, and then personal finance is tied with pornography. I think a lot of us are already accountants. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of accountants. That is true. There's a lot of accountants who watch Capital Mindset. Well, none of us can even come to compare to Mike Stathis as an accountant. He's number one. All right. Difference between finance and personal finance. So personal finance is focused on like a couple of little tidbits here and there about credit cards, consumer debt, stuff like that. So focusing more on that. Finance is kind of like evaluating financial statements and coming to valuations on companies and what to look for in companies and stuff like that. That's like what finance is. So yeah, you see we have tons of accountants here. Tons of accounts. So I mean, I think, yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of accountants. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to close up the stream. I just noticed that we're at 2 hours and 19 minutes. I know I didn't do a 4-hour live stream today, but I gotta go eat. I'm too hungry. I'll answer this last couple questions, but oh, JP doing the fist. Fabio, to be honest, how insane does it drive that Kathy Wood and me, Kevin, and Lefufu can swindle millions selling a dream? Well, you have, I mean, it's not. It's fine because I understand like the style. Um, like, okay, obviously people have to fall for it, and I'll do my best. And that was like the mission or reason why starting Capital Mindset is to try to combat it, because why complain about it if you don't do anything about it, I guess. So I think there's a growing movement against them, and that's why I say, like, I don't believe like YouTube should regulate. I think it will self-regulate eventually, because I think better ideas will win out over time. Of course, Kathy Wood's done this before, and then she left and she come back. You can actually look her history up. And then actually, there's a hedge fund that she was a part of. And it was in 1999. I forget the name of it. It's on her Wikipedia. So I'm telling you guys how to find this because I know it's difficult to find. I actually saw a comment on the Discord asking me to do a background on Kathy Wood in that video. Maybe I'll do that video. But I'm telling you guys now kind of how to find it. Go on Wikipedia and Kathy Wood. Go to the hedge fund she was working at in 1999. Then from there, you grab the 13F filing of that hedge fund, take a look at what they were buying, and then take a look at the performance of a lot of those stocks. The only one that was, well, some of those turned out well, like Amazon, but the thing is, they didn't really hold Amazon the whole way through. They didn't. So, but the point is, yeah, you get the point. So just check that out, and then you'll see that. On everything else, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one on any other videos I'll do. I'll teach you guys how to do a DCF. No, the one I built is incredibly complex, and it's very fine-tuned to basically, it's like how I think. It's like my own brain kind of put into code, and it's like a program. But I will teach you how to do a DCF. And like, for example, everything monies, you'll learn how to do everything monies like the back of your hand. Something like everything monies is very easy to actually replicate. You will be able to do that for sure. Absolutely for sure. But yeah. Okay. So that's where I'll leave off. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.